Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Swipe up, episode 194. This is the show where I share my opinions on current events. Let's get into it, shall we, with this first story. Stranger Things becomes the first streaming show in the history to surpass 7 billion minutes of viewing time in a single week. I'm sure part of that is due to the fact that every episode of Stranger Things is at least an hour long. The finale was 2.5 hours long. I think some of the episodes, a lot of them are like an hour and a half. So very long episodes, but it also goes to show the popularity of Stranger Things. From what I heard, it crashed Netflix's servers during the opening. I waited a couple days before I watched the last 2 episodes, the part 2 of season 4. A great show. Reviewed it, talked about it on Monday. A season that I felt like it took a little bit of time to get going, but the final 2 episodes, the final episode of part 1 and the last 2 episodes of part 2, or the only 2 episodes of part 2, were amazing. It was like, and I didn't know there was going to be a season 5. I thought this was the last season, and it ended with some openings, and I was like, there's got to be, like, on some way they could have ended it on this season. It could have been ended, but I like the way it's open. I like how things are open-ended. Some characters died. Some new characters died, which were a bummer. By the end, I was like so invested in all of this by the end of the season. I loved all of these characters. Even storylines of this season that I did not like, that felt like they were just tacked on in order to keep popular characters involved. I think by the end, it wrapped everything up so beautifully. Emotional, amazing performances, just like so much heart, just so well done. I really do. It's amazing. And I was like, going into watching the first part of season 4, was not very confident in how it was going to land the dismount. And after seeing the last 2 episodes, it's like, wow. Like, they know how to end a season, that's for sure. It may take a while to get there, but once they get to the end, it is amazing. It is epic. And I am super looking forward to the next season, season 5. Hopefully it comes out sooner than later. Hopefully maybe they're not as long of episodes. That would be nice. I have some theories and some ideas of what might happen. Obviously, the character Max, some questions there. I think her character might come back as a little bit ominous, maybe. Could be, maybe she might be the host for Vecna. Who knows? There might be some more of the, human body snatcher kind of things. Also, Will might play a bigger part in the last season. I don't know. The one thing that annoyed me the most of season 4 was Eleven's speech pattern. Like, the way Eleven speaks is so annoying. It is so annoying. It is like she's just learning how to speak, which makes no sense. Even when she was in the Hawkins laboratory, she spoke to people. She had conversations with people. She's been out of the laboratory for I don't know how long, but clearly there is zero reason in my mind why she speaks the way she does. I mean, you look at Vecna, number 1, he doesn't have those speech problems. You look at all of the other people, all the other kids who were in Hawkins' laboratory, none of them have that kind of inability to speak like a normal person. But for whatever reason, Eleven has the worst ability to speak, and it is painful to listen to. The opening of season 4, when she's basically narrating these letters that she's been writing to her boyfriend, Mike. are so painful to listen to, and it makes no sense. It doesn't make the character better. It, on a logical standpoint, doesn't make sense that she wouldn't be able to speak. But other than that, I loved it. There were some other problems I had. If you want to listen to, I did a review of Stranger Things Season 4 Part 1, and just did the review of Part 2, which I go into depth of the things I don't like and the things I do like and all of that. But on some level, kind of surprised that this has been so big. I mean, it's definitely one of Netflix's biggest shows. Clearly, the popularity of Netflix is kind of in question, but it's clear that Stranger Things is still a blockbuster for the streaming service. So it'll probably be a while. I'm curious to see what the Russo brothers do. Is it the Russo? Be curious to see what they do next after Stranger Things. If they go into film or if they do more TV, either way, I kind of enjoy their stuff. I think they can take their time. I think a little long. It just seems like the runtime of things is just a little bit too long too often. But they definitely paid it off in the end. Even though it was a 2.5 hour long finale, I still really enjoyed it. And now a quick word from our sponsor. Now you can wear the many faces. Original art by Ray Taylor. Select pieces from the ongoing series of abstract ink paintings. All products made with high quality materials, made right here in the USA. Go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF merch to browse the entire collection and save yourself an extra 10% when you check out by using coupon code RTSTMF. So once again, go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF merch and save 10% when you use coupon code RTSTMF. And now, back to our show. Let's move on. Uganda discovers gold deposits worth $12 trillion US. The real question is, what is the country that is going to invade Uganda first? That is what America does. That's what all countries do. It's the reason why Russia is invading Ukraine, because there's oil. It's the reason why the U.S. overthrows governments constantly in order for us to get good deals on stuff. It's the reason why we're buddies with Saudi Arabia. It's, there's the reason why Afghanistan has been, and Iraq and all those places. It's always resources. And for big gold deposits in Uganda, I feel bad. I feel bad for the safety. The safety of Ugandans is in jeopardy with this news. I don't know. I know when lithium is discovered in places, that tends to be a big reason for destabilization. So gold, I don't know how much weight that pulls. I mean, $12 trillion is a lot. It's a lot of money. So I feel bad for all of the people that are going to be run over in an effort to collect for wealthy countries to collect this money. So I don't know. Interesting news. There's still, all the gold has not been found, clearly. All the resources have not been found on this planet that is slowly dying. I mean, definitely the increase in death of the planet is being escalated, but interesting that they found a bunch of gold in Uganda, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in that area now that it's been discovered, for sure. Let's move on. Educator groups propose rebranding slavery as quote-unquote involuntary relocation. A group of educators in Texas, surprise, surprise, it was either going to be Texas or Florida. A group of educators in Texas are recommending slavery be referred to as involuntary relocation for second graders, according to the Texas Tribune. Texas State Board of Education members, Aisha Davis, told the Tribune, "I don't like it because it's a personal belief. I don't like it because it's not rooted in truth. Duh. We can have all of the discussions we want, but we have to adopt the truth for our students." I mean, if you take a look at what's going on in the United States these days, with federal protections for all kinds of people being stripped away, being separated, the people of the United States are being separated by state, smaller groups. You're seeing red states take advantage of just going full fascist. Florida, Texas, Alabama, so many states are just, not with just banning abortions, but like doing a lot of things that are going to be very detrimental to humans in the long term. And their attack on education is not anything new. Obviously, their fear of learning anything about reality has been scaring them. The term CRT, wait, is it CRT? I don't even know if that's, what is the term? CRT? Not CRT. It is race. I can't even think of the term now. The term, because I don't listen to enough of their propaganda, but whatever they don't like racial studies. I think it is CRT. Critical race theory. Yes, it is CRT. They're hugely scared of CRT. And they use that, like Florida uses that to like basically provide publishing rights to one publisher. Right? They made all the other publishers, they claim that they're all trying to push CRT, even like math books and all this stuff. But they only doing that because they want, there's a publisher, paid the government a little bit of money. They're like, hey, we want to have the only contract to print all of the school books. Like, you want us to print your propaganda, just make it so we are the only people who can publish books. And then Florida did it. And for some reason, the guy who thinks he's liberal, Joe Rogan, is endorsing DeSantis for president. Oh, I think he'd make a great president. Oh, yeah, Joe Rogan? It's amazing. You want fascism. It's one of the most fascist states in the country, and you think that guy would make a good president. Well, nothing like a rich white guy thinking another rich white guy should be president for being fascist. Because he doesn't believe because they're on the same side of the coronavirus. They're on the anti-science side of the coronavirus. It's insane, the world we're living in these days. But yeah, it's to call slavery involuntary relocation. That's what happens to people who work at companies and are forced to like move to another location to, because they got a job. It's involuntary relocation. It's like, oh, well, you got promoted, now you got to move. It's not like, oh, we're going to steal you from Africa, put you in cages, beat you, whip you, punish you, torture you, force you to work for no money. We're going to rip your children away from you. We're going to do everything possible to control you. We're going to treat you as less than even like common house pets. And they want to rebrand that as involuntary relocation. Not surprising. Texas. Great freedom you have out there in Texas. Wonderful, wonderful freedoms you exist with. It is absolutely baffling how they label fascism as freedom. It's the same bullshit as this. It's just they call it whatever they want, however they want to brand it, right? It's not death. It's involuntary transitioning of existence. It's not murder. The cops didn't murder him. The cops just allowed him to involuntarily transition into death. Anyway, so much of America, horrible. Join Inspired Disorder Plus today. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus to join. Membership includes members-only discounts and deals. You get access to the Ray Taylor Show completely ad-free, as well as bonus episodes. You get access to the complete live painting archive. You also get access to every single podcast ever produced by Inspired Disorder, hosted by Ray Taylor. You get access to Ray Taylor's personal blog, as well as the opportunity to ask me any questions. So if you want to start a podcast, you're into art, ask me anything. And so many more things are being added every day to Inspired Disorder Plus. So sign up today, become a member, head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today. Let's move on to our last story. This is a local story. A kid in Palm Desert, a teen scientist from Palm Desert, has invented a device that might play a big role in the rush for lithium at the Salton Sea. Angela takes a look at how his invention works and what it could mean for the Coachella Valley. Apparently, they've discovered lithium out in the Salton Sea, which the Salton Sea is like, that is a garbage place. It's like, it used to be, the story of the Salton Sea is very interesting. It used to be like, was going to be like this resort. It was, they used runoff from like farm irrigation and pumped it into this place, made it a lake, but then they cut off the water and everything died. It got toxic and everything died in the lake. It's just like, it is just a death place. Like, you go and it's like the beaches, it looks like it's covered in sand, but it's just like skulls of dead fish. Like, literally you look at it and it's just little tiny fish skulls across the whole shoreline. It smells bad. There's flies everywhere. There's a couple trailer parks, because people have to exist somewhere. There's abandoned buildings because it used to be like this resort town. There's people that are holed out there. There's some documentaries that are pretty great about it too. People that are holed out that, think that it's going to change. They don't want to like sell. There's dust that blows that's super toxic, causes people to get cancer. Anytime the winds shift in the valley and they come from the east, you'll smell like a rotten egg smell, and that is the smell of the Salton Sea. But apparently there's lithium there, and this kid has invented something. I didn't look at the article and see what his invention is. But interesting invention. Super interesting. I would imagine that they're going to, if there are, then they're probably going to be companies that are going to be trying to buy out all of the people that live there and make them relocate. There's probably going to be a lot of the extraction process is probably going to create some jobs. I'm sure the process itself will cause a lot of air pollution, cause a lot of that dust, that toxic dust to go in the air, and to cause a lot of people to probably get cancers of a lot of different sorts. But interesting to see how that changes the valley. Because just like that Uganda story where they found, all that gold, Salton Sea is out, there's not really anything around there. So it'll be interesting to see if that becomes like some mining community or something like that. Could definitely be. Who knows? Maybe it'll create a bunch of jobs, bring a lot more money to the valley. Who knows? But yeah, good on this kid for inventing whatever he invented. I'm sure he's got some privilege. He's a white kid living in Palm Desert. His parents have money to afford him all of this equipment and time to just spend doing that. You don't have to get a job, Timmy. Just invent a way to process lithium. Good on him. Let's do some shout-outs and get out of here. Shout-out Pubbity. Shout-out Now This News. Shout-out KESQ_news_channel_3. What a horrible, horrible handle that social media. That's horrible. KESQ News Channel 3. Shout out to you. But most importantly, shout out to you. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.